So as you know, I am a super thrifty person. I super enjoy saving money, and also I am working very hard to minimize my footprint. Now, I am by no means an extreme minimalist or a zero waste person, but I think it's great that we can all aspire towards that. Today, I also had the opportunity to work with an amazing app called Buns. So I've been using this app for about 4 or 5 years now, and I first heard about it when Lauren from Laura DIY was moving to LA. She was getting rid of all of her craft supplies and she passed on a lot to me. She told me about this app where you could swap for things. You could trade for things that you don't want for things that you need instead of trying to sell it online, where a lot of things don't really have monetary value anymore, but they still can have value for somebody that wants it. So ever since then, I have been non-stop trading. It's just a great system to keep things out of a landfill, but also finding new treasures that you would have never found anywhere else. So let's get started with our first hack. This first hack has been a real money saver for me. I bought these foam soap dispensers from a home goods store because I saw all these Bath & Body Works bottles of foam soap and realized this is just soap mixed with water, and they charge so much for it. I can do this myself. I buy bulk body or hand soap, mix 1 part soap to 5 parts water, and it lasts me forever. It works just as well as concentrated soap, if not better, because it's already lathered for you. Buying natural liquid soap and using less quantity chemicals is just a small way to reduce consumption and waste. I do the same thing with my detergent. My parents have a huge jug of detergent we share. Not that they know that we share, which is technically stealing, but yeah, we kind of share. I've had this bottle of concentrate for a year now and it's still going strong. Reusable straws are very popular now, and my favorites are the stainless steel kind. It doesn't affect the taste of anything I drink, including water. And I even have these bubble tea sized straws for my extreme tapioca consumption. On my trip, the beaches were completely littered with straws. Small plastics on the beach wash into the ocean and injure animals. I love straws. I drink everything through a straw. But recycling facilities have a hard time catching small plastics through their filters, and too much of it ends up where it doesn't belong. While you're at it, reusable cups are also a must-have. Majority of drink cups are not recyclable because it's lined with plastic. So although most cups advertise made from recycled material, the cup itself will still end up in a landfill. Starbucks is super friendly and will take any sort of vessel, while some places require you to only use their reusable cups. Just make sure to ask your favorite beverage place what they accept. To find out more about what you can and can't recycle, find your city's recycling chart for guidance. Toronto is actually not very advanced with their recycling program. As you can see, drink cups, foil wrappers, and even many plastics are not recyclable. What's messed up is that black plastic can't be recycled. Reason being, the optical sorter cannot distinguish between black plastic and the black conveyor belt. What is surprising is that styrofoam is recyclable, but there's taboo of it being unenvironmentally friendly in the past, which is why styrofoam is not as common nowadays, even though technology has caught up to meet those needs. This chart is my holy grail. I go back to it less and less as I start picking up habits with sorting my waste. Wax-coated cloths have become my better alternative to foil and saran wrap. It actually works better at clinging and preserving than plastic wrap. Now this can be a pricey item, which is why I buns for it. Hi there. Hi.
Those are yours.
Thank you so much.
Do you need a bag or?
No, I'm okay. Thank you so much. Have a good one. I ended up using bits I collected to trade for the food wrap, which means I actually acquired this for free. Now that's a smart deal. When you're done with your food, and this is a trick that my dad taught me, you compost it. Not just compost though, as I used to keep it under my sink and it still gets smelly, and I don't have the counter space for a table composter. Those are also very pricey, but freeze your compost. I got this little bin from IKEA. Especially in the summer, this completely eradicates our fruit fly and smell issue. This is a cheat, but I wanted to shout out my recent video about repurposing old t-shirts. I made reusable cotton rounds out of an old tee that I throw in the wash after use. And I made a reusable grocery bag that doubles as a cute tote. This is to round up the number because 13 hacks don't sound as good as 15. Dryer sheets are single-use items that quickly fill up garbages. You can reuse them in a variety of ways, but for fluffy clothes, an alternative is dryer balls. I have these cute hedgehog ones that lost their noses, and because they can be a bit pricey, I'm going to trade for wool balls and essential oils on Buns as an upgrade. In my laundry cupboard, I also have a huge stash of rags. I have old torn bed sheets and ripped clothing like the t-shirt DIY scraps to use as a paper towel alternative. The key is to think about single-use throwaway products and finding alternatives for them, like Swiffer sheets and duster refills. It's really not any less convenient to have a washable version of disposable products. For the home as well, we rarely turn on the heat or AC. You can call us cheap because we are, but this doubles as emission saving for the environment. There are duvets for every type of climate and sleeper. We'll throw a fleece blanket underneath for colder weather and have a cooling comforter for the summer made of breathable material like wool, cotton. There are even some that are mesh down alternatives that wick moisture. I went to the drapery section at the thrift store and picked up some white mesh curtains, which I guarantee will be in abundance at every thrift store. Folding mine at the top in 3, I cut out a few 12 by 16 inch rectangles, zigzag stitch all sides but the top fold, leaving a slight gap to thread your drawstring through. Now my drawstring is actually old shoelaces, threaded through what used to be the pocket for the curtain rod, and you have reusable produce bags. These will actually keep your produce longer with its breathable material, since plastic keeps the moisture in and rots your fruits and veggies quicker. So what about when you leave the house? How do you bring all this with you? This is my go bag I leave in the car, one large reusable tote to throw everything in, extra totes, thermos or tumbler, metal straws, and the produce bags. Most days I don't have a car, so I just carry straws and this super cute strawberry reusable bag on me. When I go grocery shopping, I try to avoid overpackaged items and will share industrial-sized items with my family. We buy in bulk, usually industrial-sized non-perishables, and freeze a lot of groceries that are bought in large batches. I think about 30 to 40% of my house is Buns items. So Opama is a Buns trade. This bed table we traded for an armchair. So I mostly trade for plants, toilet paper, and scented candles. My latest acquisition is actually a set of Buns. So these mannequin butts are the newest thing to my home. They are like, where else would you find a pair of mannequin butts? I got a snowboard, boots, bindings, goggles, helmet, and bag for a $50 gift card. Like, that's less than rental for the day. That's insane. I don't even know. Sometimes people just want to get rid of stuff, and then in this Marie Kondo phase, like, this is the best time to be trading. And then they have this new currency called bits, where if you can earn bits by referring your friends and also answering their daily survey. You get a little bit of bits. You use those bits in exchange to buy things at your local stores. So like local cafes and little stores will actually take bits as currency. And if you sign up and say that I referred you, I get bits, you get bits. I can't speak highly enough of this app. I find so much more value in the things that I've traded for because there's so much story behind it. When you appreciate things more, you tend to not throw away or want to buy new things to replace it anyways. And that's why I very much support the Buns app and the Buns community, and I hope you guys can take a look at what they have. I know especially as makeup and fashion, it's very difficult to be sustainable, and I think that there's a great movement right now on moving towards that. I'm not perfect, but I know I'm doing my best in minimizing my footprint and doing what I can even outside of just fashion in terms of home and food, in minimizing my own waste and making that footprint smaller. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!